Welcome back to Gooner Fanzine TV. We're here in Peterborough after Arsenal under-21s have just lost 1-0 to Peterborough United in the what used to be called the Checker Road Trophy. I can't even remember what it's called now.
Leasing.com. Something to do with cars and vans and stuff.
Probably the strangest competition Arsenal compete in through this season. Maybe the Europa League comes close.
Well, yeah.
This is our second Arsenal away game inside 24 hours. Less than 24 hours ago we were outside Old Trafford in the rain recording our match review, weren't we?
Yep.
But as for tonight, 1-0 defeat. Wasn't the best performance from Arsenal under-21s. They looked a little bit disjointed, didn't look fully together. I thought Mavropanos, he's played a couple of games on his comeback, hasn't he? He's coming back from a groin injury. What do you think of him tonight?
Yeah, I just thought he looked a bit rusty, really. It's understandable considering he's only had he only played 4 games last season for the first team. We were both at his under-23 debut for Arsenal about January 2018 at Meadow Park, Burton Woods.
4-0 against Man United.
Yeah, 4-0. We played really well. We sort of did a quiz on Twitter earlier saying, can you name the front three? Reece Nelson was one of them, Eddie and Nicotea was one of them, and we put it out for who was the other one, and it was Jeff Rayner Adelaide. So well done to people who got that. But yeah, I mean, Mavropanos looked good on his debut that night. I remember being at Old Trafford covering the game in sort of April 2018, a few months later that season, and he had a really, really short debut. So we know he's a really good talent. We know he's certainly a first team squad member. He could potentially be challenging for a centre half berth as well. But he didn't look particularly good tonight. He looked off the pace. But the main thing is he's regaining match fitness and he's getting minutes in his legs as well. It's good to be back at London Ground. Peter's Ground, London Road, if I could say it. It's
pretty cold, so.
Well, no, it's not that cold. It stopped raining anyway. But it's good to be back here. I think the last time I was back here was for England under-18s against France under-18s about 2 or 3 years ago, and that was a really cold night. It was sort of, I can't remember if it was a beast from the east or something. It was absolutely freezing. But you may know a player who played for France under-18s that night, came on a sub with about 20 minutes to go, and that was Matteo Guendouzi. He really impressed me when he came on that night, and he's obviously gone from strength to strength. He was still at PSG's academy when he played here at London Road, and Unai Emery obviously had his radar on him and picked him up. But it's good to come back tonight, and it's good to do a bit of talent spotting, because there was a few Arsenal players who did okay tonight, didn't they? I think for me, I mean, Zach Medley. I mean, we both covered the FA Youth Cup final in 2018. I think it was. I covered the first leg at Stamford Bridge. I think you covered the second leg at Emirates. That first leg, a certain Callum Hudson-Odoi played really, really well for Chelsea that night. Completely eviscerated the Arsenal side, including
did exactly the same at the Emirates.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think it was 3-1 at Stamford Bridge that night in the first leg, and Zach Medley was really unsettled that night, and I did fear for his future a little bit, because he just looked so off the pace that night. But he's come on. He's really learned. He's obviously he was handed his first team debut in the Europa League last season. I think it was against Vlorskla. He also played against Karabag, sort of late November, early December. Unai Emery obviously rates him. He's in and around the first team squad. It was good to see him tonight. He looks assured. He's a ball playing centre half. He's tall, but he's got a good touch, good technique. Strong in the air. He looks to play the ball out from the back. I thought he did well tonight. Another player I thought Robbie Burton.
Robbie Burton.
You're a big fan of Robbie Burton, aren't you?
I saw him against Everton. That was the first time I saw him this season at the Emirates. And he was fantastic there. I think he scored a couple of goals. And today he was really strong again. He plays sort of that deep lying playmaker. He's really, really composed in the midfield. Really nice on the ball. Lovely little touches and dribbling. He's sort of at this level particularly, looks like a bit of a Pirlo type player, and that's the sort of performance he puts.
If he turned out to be half as good as Pirlo.
That's the sort of performance he puts in against this sort of level, and he really showed what wore the captain's armband tonight. Yeah. And he had a really good performance, I thought. And also Matt Macy in goal made about 6 really, really good saves. The one double save, absolutely fantastic. Yeah. He made his debut against Red Star Belgrade. I'm sure you were at that game.
Yes,
the Emirates.
0-0 at the Emirates. That was on the back of
clean sheet in his debut for first team.
Absolutely. That was on the back of Arsenal winning 1-0 in Belgrade, in one of the most amazing atmospheres I've ever been to, at the Maracana in Belgrade. He did really well that night. He was on loan at Plymouth last season, and I think he did well. I used to sort of write sort of loan updates and stuff, and he did really well. Good to see him tonight. He's 25. It's a good age for a keeper, potentially a little bit older than you want him to be at this level. But then Martinez is 26, and he did well in Frankfurt the other week, didn't he?
Against
Forest,
got a few decent keepers in there.
Yeah, but you're absolutely right in terms of his reactions. He did really well tonight. He's a big lad, but he got down really well. He commanded his box well. Distribution, maybe working a little bit, maybe his vocality as well, if that's even a word. Just organising defence, maybe a bit more on that. But he looks good. He's certainly got a career in the game. Whether it's at Arsenal long term, we don't know yet. But
certainly couldn't do anything about their goal.
It
took a quite big deflection, went straight into the top corner from 30 yards.
Yeah, there was no blame attached to Macy. He couldn't do anything.
Nothing he could do there at all.
Completely wrong foot. But another player we thought played well tonight, or shone a little bit, was Matt Smith as well.
Yeah, he was decent.
I know we were sort of talking about him earlier, and he was captain in under 18s.
Yeah.
Didn't miss a minute for the under 18s the season they won the league a couple of years ago. Silky player, good technique, good touch. He shone it. I mean, every Arsenal player tonight will learn, having played 90 minutes against a seasoned League One side. I know.
Well, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And there's some of their players are quite big, senior players.
Yeah.
A lot of them have quite a lot of experience in the Football League.
Yeah.
This is a fantastic experience for them. Obviously, it's a shame not to come away with a win, but also players like 17-year-old Ben Cottrell. I mean, that's a big day for him, isn't it?
Yeah.
To play against players like that, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's some really good Peterborough players out there. I know they're 8th in League One at the moment, only 2 points off 6th place in the final playoff spot. I know the left back. He impressed me. What was his name? Dan Butler. He did really big unit as well, but a good touch.
Dembele as well. He went through on goal a few times. Really caused Arsenal problems. He was really pacey and had a really nice touch.
Yeah.
They had some decent players, didn't they?
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll do well in League One this season.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I say, I mean, the Arsenal players will benefit from having played that game tonight and got 90 minutes against seasoned pros from League One, basically, who are doing really well in League One as well, against in front of a 3,000 crowd as well in a league ground. So it's an invaluable experience for these players. I obviously covered the games last season in the Checker trade. A certain Bukayo Sako did really well. I think he scored against Portsmouth after Arsenal qualified out the group stages, and he just shone throughout. Hopefully some of the Arsenal lads can do that as well this year, hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely. And it feels like he's sort of come so quickly into the first team, hasn't he? He was sort of, for me, in my mind, firmly an under-23 player this season, at the beginning of this season. And now he's really deserves to start every game in the first team, really, doesn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's almost not about talent and technique; it's about attitude and application, really, and determination. And Saka has certainly shown that, and you hope some of these lads who played tonight are going to do that as well. Just a word on Sam Greenwood. He comes with a really highly rated reputation. Arsenal sort of snapped him up from Sunderland. I saw him in the pre-season friendly against Hitchin Town. Admittedly, it was an under-18s side led by Ken Gillard rather than sort of Steve Bowles' under-21s tonight, and he didn't play as well as he could have done. And again tonight, he flattered to deceive a little bit. He just needs the ball, basically, and he needs to maybe play or to get more experience against seasoned pros, as I say. Decent centre halves who can sort of pull him out of position, give him a couple of knocks, just snap at his heels so he can't sort of turn with the ball. He looks okay playing with the ball with his back to goal, basically, but at the same time he's got a lot to learn, and again I hope he's learnt that tonight.
To be honest, I mean, every ball that came to him was sort of either a bit too hard or just wasn't, they never really fell for him tonight. Arsenal weren't really, they had a couple of chances at this end, first half, where they went very close, couple of balls flashed across the goal. There's no real chances. In attack, it was a little bit disjointed, wasn't it?
Yeah. And we were trying to work out the formation as well. Obviously, Steve Bold played three at the back. With
two wing backs.
Medley. Who else was it? I'm just trying to remember.
Bola.
Bola was a wing back on the right hand side, and Swanson was on the left. But I'm trying to think of the centre half. So Mavropanos, Medley, and
Clark.
Harry Clark. That was it. Yeah. And what sort of system was that? Was it 3? Was it a 5? We were trying to work it out, and it certainly wasn't mirroring what Unai Emery does for the first team. But then, as we said as well, Unai Emery chops and changes formations too. So
it's quite interesting that, because you think they'd want to mirror it. Actually,
and they did that last season under Freddie Lundberg. So maybe it's a change of direction, or maybe Steve Bold just is experimenting with the players under his command, really. But it certainly wasn't. It certainly didn't mirror what Arsenal playing last night at Old Trafford.
And on the youngsters, obviously, it's a good opportunity to talk about those players that we've watched. We watched Nelson, we've watched Nicotia back in a few years ago, playing for the under-23s and in the Checkatrade Trophy. Nelson recently he's come back from Hoffenheim and he hasn't really impressed so much. He's not really kicked on, has he?
Yeah, I mean,
what do you think? Do you think he's, we know he's got the talent, but do you think he's got the attitude to push up into that first team?
I think he's got the attitude, and I think he's got the talent. I mean, we sort of touched on it last night at Old Trafford, and he just hasn't kicked on this season yet. Maybe he's just adapting from having a year in Germany, and just needs to hit the ground running. He just needs games, basically, but I don't think there's anything to worry about. But Rosie made a really good point last night, just basically saying Saka has almost usurped Nelson in terms of sort of first team picking, in terms of the first team picking order, really. But Nelson will be back. There's no worries about that whatsoever. But there was some, like I say, there was some really good talented players to play tonight. Obviously Aziz as well. I saw him for the under-16s last year when they played Chelsea in the Premier League final at Boreham Wood. I think Arsenal lost 5-2 that night, but he again, he played well. Didn't have much time to impress tonight, but then there's a real talented crop of players coming through. We say that every year basically, but hopefully Steve Bold. I mean, he's had, I think it was 11 years experience head of the academy from 2001 to 11 or whatever it was, 12, before obviously being promoted to Arsene Wenger's number 2. I think this is probably his natural level, if we're going to be brutally honest, in terms of what he can be really, really effective at, and hopefully he'll bring these lads through. He's a tough bloke. He knows Arsenal inside out. He's been schooled in the club. Hopefully he can pass that ethos on to the youngsters, basically. But it's good to see him still at Arsenal, because he is an Arsenal man. I probably watched about 90% of his games for Arsenal, home and away and all over Europe, and I loved him as a player, and hopefully he can regain his mojo as a coach as well. So yeah, absolutely.
When we saw the team sheet today, just on 2 players we were hoping to see, we didn't see Bellerin or Tierney, which is a little bit disappointing. That probably means they're going to start at the in Stanley Age against Stanley Age at
the Emirates on Thursday. Yeah, I certainly think they'll be. Would think they'll be in the squad.
I think they'll definitely appear, because they're on. Emery's going to want them to come back as soon as possible. We're a bit gutted not to see them tonight, weren't we?
Yeah, we wanted them to play, but I mean, that's the bigger picture, isn't it? Getting them fit for the first team. I mean, we're not going to say they're going to start, but hopefully they will certainly feature at some stage. You'd like to think so, potentially, but we'll find.
Forward to the Emirates.
Yeah, well, we'll find out on Thursday, but
we'll certainly be there. So
definitely. But there's some really talented players tonight. Shame Arsenal lost 1-0. I've not had to look at the table, but obviously after having lost on penalties to Northampton after a 1-1 draw, with Peterborough having beaten Northampton in the previous game, Peterborough all but through. I'm not sure where that leaves Arsenal at the moment, but they just need to win their last game against Cambridge away, and we'll be there as well.
Nice one. Enjoyable night. Thanks very much for watching. Subscribe if you want more. We'll be continue to cover the under-23s in the academy, supporting the the academy sides within the club. Any thoughts on the youth products that have come through into the first team, please comment below any thoughts on them, and press the like button as well if you like this video. Thanks for watching. Cheers.